My gosh, the irony. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. Making this intro of the video and talk through on the actual day that I come back negative, because at the beginning of this vlog, as far as filming it goes, I tested positive, but today being the 10th of Wednesday, I am now negative. There was a slight faint positive line, but hardly prominent, and I'm still, back into the category of negative. To jumpstart of anything, I did actually put it down in notes, mentally thinking back on each step that built up to being positive for COVID. First thing I actually noticed was a tingly throat. I constantly had like acid reflux sort of sensation of it. Kind of like when you have a dry dehydrated throat, you keep having the urge to clear your throat, or that acid burst in your throat. Similar to when you dry reach a little bit of acid that spurts up in your throat creates a heated sensation. That's basically what my throat felt. Around when I tested negative twice, post my dad testing negative, post my dad testing positive. So when I had tested positive, she tested negative because I was around her and I wanted to make sure she would remain negative. And for the whole week she was, even though she had this faint cough. And I said, are you feeling a bit coldish? Before any of us tested. Well, after we tested, in line with our dad. After we tested and came back negative, she said she's not really like coldish, she just had a climbing, developing cough. A whole week straight, and of course she helps to deliver some food and drink when mum had to go to work. But when mum came back, of course shift rotation, Shan will go back to taking a break, and mum will go back to servicing me per se. Centering around the whole dry reaching, not really vomiting, but just the acidity reflux that you feel, followed by excessively swallowing, drinking out of water just in case my throat was dried out. So the absolute most beginning part of my positive stages was the acid reflux, dry throat, dry reaching, heated feeling in the throat, followed by needing to swallow so much, not swallowing so much buildup of saliva, but just to swallow the useless saliva to soothe the throat, followed by a lot of water to help cool down and hydrate the throat. I also had this endless urge to keep belching, and as I was belching, I also needed to, when you're trying to push out a belch, you also get the same sensation of a gag reflex. I kept having that right in the esophagus and diaphragm area to dry reach, the vomiting side of dry reach. So I got myself a bucket just to be sure. And then of course along then came the stuffed nose sensation, but without my nose actually being stuffed. And of course tired sensation in the eyes. The more active I made myself as far as helping my mum with the chicken coop, doing yoga or Pilates in my room, I would feel really good, I wouldn't feel run down or anything. And then as soon as I started to settle back down, lay down, slow down, is when all those surroundings of what I just said caught back up with me again. And then I also got the bodily chills, where it feels like the outer layer of the air around you is quite cold, but it's actually you who's cold. So around about 2 AM on last Wednesday, can't remember what date that was, 5th or something. I think it was a Wednesday, 5th of August, last Wednesday as established. That around 2 AM is when I had the instinctual feeling to go to the kitchen and grab a test, a rapid test. So of course took the test, and you'll see throughout the rest of the vlog just how I managed myself through it all. I already had very mild cold symptoms, so it was a little disappointing and frustrating and a little daunting to see 2 lines pop up. I'm guessing that my sister ultimately turned positive in the end as well, considering it does take a usual 1 to 2 weeks to really start to pick up on the symptoms, and considering dad just recently came back positive, but then of course negative. Now he's living his best life. Of course, when Sean was around me for a brief moment in the kitchen hours before I tested positive, she must have picked up on the symptoms after all, but because triple vaxxed, it did take any of us a while. Of course, the weather itself giving us colds will also be a contributing factor. A lot of very mild symptoms here and there, just in our throat. Then this odd urge to belch a lot. With that being, with belching, there was also the urge, the very mild sensation to throw up, but never actually ended up happening. Then the nose sensations, like I said, the tightness in the eyes, the bodily chills, which you get anyway when you have a cold. And I was just telling myself it's probably just a 24 to 48 hour thing. It's the weather that's turning. In a day or two I'll be fine. Technically, I said a day or two I was still fine. Symptomatic symptoms, meaning you don't display so many of the, you don't look like you're dying on the spot or with such a highly common cold, but you still come back positive. Because you've been exposed to someone who was a lot worse off, cold-wise, he came back positive first about first 4 days in. As of course when it started to catch up to me, he was in ISO for another 3 days upon his Sunday of Sunday just gone, and he's been back in the real world since. And of course I came back moderately but mostly positive. Today being another Wednesday, you know, test kind of like poetic justice. No, not poetic justice. It's quite ironic and fitting that I tested positive on a Wednesday and I test positive and I test negative on a Wednesday again. So I will let you enjoy the rest of the vlog. Please, I said it at the start and the end of the vlog, please get yourself triple vaxxed. And if you do still get the COVID symptoms, please get yourself tested, whether it's at home or by a doctor. And please, for the love of gosh, isolate yourself for however long your country's laws permit you to. I believe America and England, or the UK mostly, is 10 days, but Australia, as far as my family's figured out, is just 7 days. So please, 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 help stop the spread. Masks, gloves, sanitizers, social distancing, staying home, because this pandemic clearly isn't over yet. It's more like the aftermath side of things. Thank you all so much for watching this video, the whole entire of it, and I shall see you all for my future videos. Adios. And to top both those off, the power has completely gone out. Okay, so well, symptomatically, I actually feel pretty good, all things considered. Definitely the first time I have tested positive for COVID, being the past 2-ish, 3 years. Still got the tape on my wall. Long story, don't ask. All that there is just the occasional chills. Outside my body, air itself is cold chills. You know, we're just about finishing up winter, coming into spring. So outside the body, air is cold type chills. A little bit of a now and again singular cough, sneezing now and again, just a very typical cold. I have been swiging down some cough medicine. I have been taking vitamin C, cold and flu tablets. I am triple vaccinated, but apparently there is a 4th vaccination out there. When I was chatting to my grandmother on my 30th birthday, she was talking about that there is a developed 4th vaccination. So as for the previous clip outside my door, it's a new style of COVID room service. Turns out my dad also tested positive almost less than a week ago. Then of course I got a rising cold. I thought it was just weatherly, which you know that might have contributed. But you know, I had the instinctual feeling to take another test, so I did. And lo and behold, positive. But again, I don't feel like I'm on my deathbed, just because I'm literally on my bed. I don't feel the worst of the symptoms, particularly dry throat. Again, I just felt the only other way to describe it is shivery, cold weather shivery. But otherwise, despite all that, feeling good. It's also 3 in the morning, so that's besides irritated throat, yes, my voice is a little tired and run down. I guess day 1 update, barely first hour update, but I tested at 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's now 3 in the morning, so hour 1 update. So the strangest thing kept happening between the hours of 4 up until 5 minutes ago or so. Laying on my left, I could swear that my windpipe maybe was compressing on itself, and a gust of cough would open back up, laying on my front, meaning cast up to the roof. Same thing, a gust of cough would help open my throat back up, as in windpipes. But so far, laying on my right, and my throat seems to be fine. Yeah, that's definitely bizarre. So we're still on Wednesday, 3rd of August. The day has not gone over yet. But as for my latest update, I finally managed to film something more or less in the raw of it. I was explaining that it felt like as I was laying on my left or center, meaning chest up to the ceiling. I said roof, you know, in the moment, but you know what I mean. I felt like something was compressing down my throat, and there was like, I would not say agonal breathing because that means your breathing is very strained when you're in a lot of pain. Around about closer to 6, maybe 7 in the morning. That was when my mother finally got up and acknowledged the message I sent her at 2 in the morning. I will be coming out, you know what I mean, by the 10th. Anyway, so did manage to get some sleep, which lasted about from, I'd say, 8 o'clock or so, right up until noon hour, 2 in the afternoon. Anyway, we have also got some new gadgets. Now my laptop isn't a new gadget obviously, but this little guy, now I technically can share between power, but because a laptop takes up a much more wider amount of, you know, power source, so you can charge your phone with this portable charger, in short. How I'm still feeling overall, it really does not make me feel that much better, you know, with my camera battery now down 1 bar. So other than that singular cough, my throat does not feel overly irritated. I don't really have full-bodied chills, like the outside air very cold, but it's actually useless cold. I don't really have that anymore. Clearly I have a very flattened out voice, which is very typical when having a cold, and the added C word. Otherwise, other than that, I actually feel pretty good. I don't feel, you know, like I'm struck with a deathly virus. I don't feel like the full but mild effects of it either. I don't know, that's probably just good immune system. Whether or not I update later, this has just been all of Wednesday from about 2 in the morning up until now, putting it pretty close to 4 in the evening. Yes, I count 4 o'clock as the evening. And dinner is served. It is a vegan-friendly pasta that my mum got. One of 2 meals. I'm also entertaining myself a little bit with Eleni Fit, or Eleni, however you want to pronounce that. So I was also cleaning up my room a bit, taking care of some laundry, then wiping off some mildewish substance on my windowsill. So it's a slow progress burning through cleaning up my room. That's that 6 PM update. Still on a Wednesday. Power's back on, and let me prove that. Gotta put my camera back on charge. Press start. Okay, so I just trialed the workout that I typed up in notes, but this one's very specifically time-based, so yeah, the workout was actually really good. It was like a beginner, but I definitely literally plan on having it close to a beginner mix workout appropriate for someone who's got a cold and or has tested positive. So it's like a 3-way or 2 but 3-way factor. So I still worked up a pretty good sweat. It's more like warm-up sweat than what it was of finally gotten through a hard workout. It's beginner hit style workout. So mother's making me a cup of tea and it's gonna cool off a tad more, as in fitness cool off, and then go and have a shower. So as I have established, you know, physically feeling pretty on top of the world, don't even remotely feel like, you know, gotten vaccinated first time all over again. Actually feel very neutral and actually cold free, virus cold. But apparently with this comes a whole new set of rules. Not just the social distancing rules, not just the mask in public, gloves if need be. You know, when you got struck with COVID, before you got struck with COVID, you know, you sanitize, you wipe down everything flat surface, you make sure to wash your hands. There was the sanitizing rules to stop the spread, because when you get shot with COVID, how bad it was, whether you're just barely, you know, cold-like symptoms, like when I technically have considerably got a cold. Like I said, with a whole new set of rules, masks all the time, except when eating or taking down a drink, and sleeping obviously. Gloves on, material paste, to use that to wipe down the toilets. Have to be absolutely confined to my room at all times, apart from going to the toilet and showering obviously. It's also just occurred to me just how much my food prepping I forgot what I was saying now. Turns out my food making skills are a far cry difference than what anybody else has been prepping for me. It is also taking me a bit to get through each meal. Again, nothing to do with taste buds, more to do with how fast I'm getting full. And I absolutely appreciate all that my sister and my mother are trying to do with the spare time they have, but whereas sister is calling down to sleep and taking a break from nursing duty, so to speak. Sadly, mother is turning into every single request that I have. I mean, she's headachy, which she already gave me the heads up on, but she's also being, like, again, still very helpful. I'm still very appreciative. I'm not appreciative, but when she was confined to spare room, when it was her time, there was no debating any request she had. We each fulfilled. 7 days went up for her. She came back negative. Dad came back positive. Twice we all came back negative, but then I came through positive, so, you know, hence all this. Now, I'm already feeling like a complete nuisance, requesting so much. It's like I can quickly go to the kitchen, grab what I need, and double back. Pretty sure if I put a hazmat suit on, I don't have one, but pretty sure even if I put that on, I would still get fucked up. So even when I'm trying to explain in text message to my mother, you know, reasons why I couldn't put the laundry on, or when she asked me if I'm using all the necessary chemicals and wipes to wipe down after myself on a flat surface, not myself. I had said that I hadn't really been keeping up with the gloves part, but I have been wiping down the toilet seat, and suddenly she springs off with being text message hostile. I won't show the text messages because that's quite a violation and unfair to her. Only a decent-ish message comes through. My mother requested that I open up my window, and because of non-raining weather, it'll be safe to do so. As far as the weather making someone sicker, which I thought that was the root cause of my developing cold. I thought it was just weatherly, which, you know, it absolutely could have been. But also a brief moment when my dad walked by me, waved at each other, plus probably weatherly elements combining together. And we're only day 2, 9:29. Day 2 has only just gotten started. And it would also be nice if Mum could at least add some emojis in her text messages, because right now she is very ruler on hand type of text message aggressive, and yet she's telling me to stop being passive aggressive when I'm just trying to briefly explain. Turns out just how much I'm cut off from the rest of the house. No doing laundry, no doing dishes, no making tea the exact way that I like it. Can't make my usual favourite foods. Is Wednesday, rephrase, Thursday morning update, 4th of August. It's going to be a long, less than 7 days now, so 5-ish days. I'm also struggling to get to sleep. Sure, the cough keeps me up. I need to blow my nose once I get blocked for a while. You know, the typical reasons of why a cold keeps you awake. hopefully throughout today I get a better sleep. However long it lasts. And I ought to open up my window. Well, nutritious and delicious. A vegan lasagna that my mother quickly prepared for me. And congratulations to this fellow Latina Aussie. More specifically, congratulations to Move with Nicole on hitting 1 million. And although we're still on the same day, Thursday, how to make the day go by a whole lot faster? Sleep all the way through it. Finally got to sleep around 10 o'clock or so. Woke back up around lunchtime, then dozed back off again, and didn't get up until, yeah, it's now 7:01, but I woke up around 6ish or so. So I just finished a Move with Nicole, her 1 million subscribers, latest celebratory video. It totally felt like a very, very easy workout. Nothing was too trendy, it was too over the top. I'm pretty sure I only paused like for a split moment twice. Managed to complete the whole workout without necessarily having to modify anything. I am still trying to keep up with some workouts just to keep my body strong. I mean, I'm not feeling crippled back by this mild flu I've got. It's just down to a singular cough, sometimes sounding flat, sometimes sounding a little bit more fresh, sneezing now and again, and every time I sneeze, floodgates open for my nose. Of course, got to blow, but as soon as I blow my nose, I am then back to airways. Honestly, feels like a little bit long day, tired, despite the complete irony that I slept most of the day. Yet sadly my hours are technically backwards. It is rather hard to go to sleep when you have a cold. I mean, some people actually might find it very easy to get to sleep when they have a cold. Now, ironically, of all the times I've ever gotten a cold, I've just about spent on my deathbed, the one time that I get stuck with the big C word, and it is the most mild, livable, barely there cold I've ever had, including the part where I'm triple vaxxed. The absolute irony. Es el momento satisfactorio cuando a mi madre hace bien a ti. Now that's what I'm talking about. Pretty sure my mother just made me some pesto pasta for a lunch, and an all-new tea. There it is. I argue that's coffee. No, it is actually tea, just limited milk. I mean, I had to say more hot water, less milk, because I actually like my teas hot, not lukewarm, but gotta love my sister for trying. Anyway, now to get to eating. And yes, once again, slept the whole day away. Woke up about 2 in the morning? No. Woke up about 2 in the afternoon. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's definitely one way to make the days go by faster. Which still technically means you're on the same day by the time you even still wake up. Although, it is also nice to be up early to at least enjoy whatever existing sunshine is there. Upon recent discovery, chatting with my sister-in-law, brother's girlfriend, and she got struck with COVID. I swear I have moved now and again, but this time I am now watching other people's experiences on COVID. They're doing all these smelling tests, and I thought, I'm gonna try and see if I can't sniff my pasta. Then couldn't really smell my pasta. And I thought, damn, my smelling senses have been cut off. then it also occurred to me, I naturally have a very weak sense of smell. I naturally can't smell much at all. So, COVID or no doesn't make a difference, but taste-wise, my taste buds had not been affected. But the one thing that still remains intact about my immune system is I'm still able to happily eat, happily enjoy food, because even your taste buds help promote that full, fed, satisfying feeling in your body. A bit of a Grey's Anatomy moment, or a health nutritionist moment for me right there. It's because I had a late lunch, and it was quite a filling lunch, and I just get so full so easily these days. Well, like the last 3 days, obviously, is what I meant. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're supposed to count the actual day you tested positive as your starting day till the day you're on. So if that's not the case, then made it to day 3. No, day 4. But if you do count the day, made at least day 5. Saturday, 6th of August. It is nearly 4 in the morning. As for why I'm still up at this bloody hour, and really trying to be quiet. Just watched 2 beautiful movies. Well scripted, well orchestrated, well written. Death on the Nile with Gal Gadot, and Not Okay with Zoe Deutsch. Also, clearly hours are still stupidly backwards. I haven't got any freedom. I have gained temporary freedom. Only because my main room service, Sean, is probably still asleep. Mum is at work. So I just literally need to fill this up. And I'm just gonna park you up against the kettle. Okay, also just gonna put the pop in. Sorry for this turbulence camera angles. That was my 2-minute yard time, present time. Okay, back to my cell lager. As soon as I'm back in my room, the bed just pops up into view. Oh yeah, and I'm also about to film the fitness video appropriate for beginners, those with the cold, and or COVID struck. Also, just want to quickly add how I'm feeling for on a Sunday. I wish. As far as the day's going faster, I wish. As for how I'm feeling for Saturday, the remainder of Saturday, because I was already awake at like 4 in the morning, I'm actually feeling really damn good. My cough is just, probably down to the very, very flat. One cough, but otherwise, no more tingling in the throat. No more tension in the throat. Shows how not with that weird breathing pattern I developed first night. You might discover, if you're just getting into your COVID stages, at this point in the video, you might just discover the first night or 2, everything you experience is going to be weird, first impressions. Everything's going to probably feel inhuman. For me, it was just down to like a common cold with external bodily chills. That was just the first night. The next few nights along was weird breathing pattern. Oh boy. Like I was saying, I'll do a whole recap once my 7th date is up. Whether that will be next Tuesday or technically Wednesday. Whether or not you actually count the day you test. Because for me it was 2 in the morning when I tested positive. So I really don't know if I'm supposed to count the Wednesday that I found out, or if I'm supposed to count the Thursday as my first day of ISO. So it'll either be next Tuesday or Wednesday that I'm properly ready, not just want a quick trip to the kitchen to fill a water bottle. Over and out for now. As you can tell, just finished the workout. 15 minutes. Beginner level. beginner, a lot of strengthening elements, squats mostly, workout, abs, and a little bit of core as well, within some ab exercises, and a burner finisher, some cardio at the very end. Well, it's actually 2 rounds of cardio, specific cardio. Obviously by the time this vlog is posted and whatnot, the actual fitness video will be on my yoga channel. Just hit 110 subscribers too. I'm very excited about that. And at least a few of my videos already have 1,000 views. Also makes me feel pretty good. But I still, you know, even if 38 people just viewed it, I'm still very happy. Anyway. Oh jeez. Hi buddy. Hi. I'm gonna see if I can't ping my dad to get Sean's attention. Because until mum gets home from karate, Sean is on babysitting 2 COVID patients duty. I mean, technically I'm sure I'm COVID free by now. Bouncing around this much, feeling really good even when I'm not bouncing around. A test will say otherwise. It will literally decide my fate. Anyway. So I went to go let my dog in. I went back outside, but he ran to the back door. What's the first thing he did? Run straight by me. I was also informed by my mother that I come out of ISO by the following Wednesday. So technically, either I miscounted my days from the Wednesday that I still don't technically know what that means, counting the 2 AM Wednesday as my starting ISO day, or if it was technically by Thursday. But it's also like a really high chance I just miscounted the days for the 7th day. Because I kept thinking it was a Tuesday, but it's probably a Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which is my right side ring finger, and that's 7 days. My middle finger is, my mother is messaging me, and obviously the messages are popping up even when I'm video recording. I've now been given technically a 2nd time permission to leave my room. But this is technically the 3rd time because I rebelled a moment ago. Went to let him in, specifically, but like I said, he ran right past me. So again, probably, you don't count the actual day you tested, whatever time that even was. I'll say, you tested one day, then by the next day you officially start. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't count the day you tested, depending on the hour you tested, as your starting ISO day. But whatever, next Wednesday, I mean, I'll be able to, you know, go around to the rest of the house, be able to go outside, when the weather is nice obviously, and go to the store with my mother if need be. Whether she's going, I want to take along, or I need to go and she's happy to drive me. Yeah, I'm planning well for the future, but let's just wait until I actually test negative first, by the Wednesday. I'm gonna throw gloves back on again, and just open up the front door, and Jules will help himself inside when he's ready. So my dad finished his week in isolation. Technically he's out by today, Sunday. I would have thought Saturday. Either it's just that one extra day to really make sure, or it's spot on with the day. He technically hasn't tested negative, considering he hasn't retested at all, but he has been in a week of isolation, so absolutely surely that kind of the big C would be flushed out of his system. And as for me, I just have 3 days left. Today is Sunday. Just 3 more days. My nose is completely cleared up again, but it's sort of just those moments when I breathe directly through the nose to clear the airways. A little bit of raise of, you know, stuff that comes up. Cough is just sometimes either nothing for a good couple of minutes, or there is a singular, very flat, monotone sounding cough. There is no, besides that, there is just no more sensation of a cold left over at all. It's like even the vaccination kicked out the actual cold in my system. I mean, I'll also do a complete recap of each thing I experienced, plus, you know, I'll actually start to edit the vlog so I can recant everything for myself. And I definitely wish that I had tested a whole lot sooner based off instinct, because the cold was just developing a bit too, to me, it's a bit too obviously. So I do wish I had retested sooner, but she came back negative, so it doesn't matter how fast. I also wanted her to test again because she said that she had this weird developing cough. The time in a row per sentence she came back negative. She's been helping the nursing duties. Yesterday was just a bit of a flop because she was asleep for most of it. It was also the same day that I filmed this 15-minute hit video. Now with how I'm feeling, I feel very average, neutral. Just the sometimes there is the exhale cough when you go to exhale and your throat still has a built up urge to cough, even though there's basically no cough left. Just the occasional odd breathing through the nose to clear the airways. So I don't have any chills apart from the coldish weather. Feel the temperature a little bit, but no bodily chills. This layer of air around me is cold. I'm not feeling that anymore. I never had a fever. Nose overheated but got cold sweats. Very, very average this whole time through. Just my body, it's just the throat, the nose. I think a little bit of a headache at some point, especially when I went to react to Demi Lovato's Substance Busy video. Is when I developed a headache just before I was recording. I mean, I obviously won't get used to this. We'll definitely go back to cooking for myself. Chicken tenders. Technically it's pretty much the same, exact same as chicken nuggets, just obviously much longer length, obviously. Potatoes and a side salad. So my new mini gym balls, or Pilates ball, just arrived in the mail. But of course I have to pump it up. Okay, it's another genuine update. Tuesday was a completely boring day. Slept through most of it, and it's definitely one way to cut through the day faster. Watched a movie, I don't remember which movie it was, which is ironic. Tuesday night, I believe. No, it's still on Tuesday. So I meant Monday night. So Monday was absolutely boring. Slept through, watched YouTube, CPD episode, and it was then sometime throughout Monday's earliest hours until Tuesday about sometime at night. Damn, the days have blurred so stupidly together. I watched the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, and oh my gosh, so funny. Quite quirky, a little bit emotional, and who knew that Taika Waititi, if I pronounce his name right, New Zealander actor. He was also the producer and he acted a bit in Thor Ragnarok, playing the role of a rock-like creature. Actually does a pretty good job at playing the villainous role. And I love how there was like a back and forth of a video game turned real life, but then back to video game, back to real life. I love how it's like a constant three-way appeal to that movie. I didn't come here to chat about movies, not necessarily. I had noticed, I don't know if it's just, I mean I still need to test it out well after my ISO week is over. I had noticed that my appetite has actually shrunk up so much. Like I never lost my sense in taste, sense of smell, sure. I still look like I'm in a freaking dome or something like that. It's just the ISO, or iOS, ISO, whatever it is on my camera. It's just too cool tone lighting, so this is just a wall. So it definitely takes me quite a while to get through a meal. Like I feel it very fast. And as for sneezing, sometimes I actually had a hard time getting a sneeze out. You know, I would end up giving off more like a placebo, just the emotion and noise with the mouth sneeze, no actual satisfaction to the nose. So one thing that has definitely stopped is my nose flooding up post sneeze and then needing to blow and then getting my airways back again. I can definitely still breathe back and forth through my nose again. Not really with the sensation of stuffed nose, just the sensation of it. So cold wise, I am completely back to normal. Obviously I'm yet to test again to see if I'm completely COVID free. I should definitely be. If I'm technically cold free, then I'm COVID free. But tomorrow being Wednesday, the end of the day, last day of isolation that is, I find out then. So future meals to come, I will see if you know, COVID has had an impact on me, shrinking up my being able to finish a whole meal all with one, not a couple of mouthfuls. Still got quite a bowl full, a couple more mouthfuls. There's still the little things that are still lingering around. Struggling to get through a full meal. Nothing to do with taste, just getting full easily. A little bit of difficulty sneezing, because otherwise the sneezes will come back through properly. I mean, from what I can tell, my dad's still got a pretty persistent cough. Otherwise, he's back to being a picture of health. It will definitely seem that anybody with a cold that also turned COVID, once you recover from COVID, it's like the cold itself also ceases pretty fast. I'll do a whole proper recap video tomorrow. Until then, adios. I'm not going to lie, I am nervous. But surely I should be coming back negative after this. Okay, it's down to the first minute. Still so far negative. There's also just around about this time as well when positives have to come up. But so far, my heart is thumping. Okay, we're now just about 2 minutes in, but I mean, I obviously won't record this for the full 15 minutes, and still so far no secondary line. A very, very satisfying negative sight. I didn't mean for that to sound more ironic than it did, but... So also, with that being said, when I took the first test, which, yes, I've been holding on to it this whole time, but the bottom line, literally the bottom half of the negative line, positive line I meant, showed up pretty much within another 15 seconds after the first line did. For comparison. Despite the irony that this is my bedroom, I will be returning back here every single night and every single day, depending on what I've previously done outside. I am free. Obviously though, if you are just fresh into your quarantine, best of luck. You will pull through it. Or if you're just coming out as well, we persevered, we survived. Even though my take on it was very... I just about had COVID to the point where I didn't have COVID, and it's what they call asymptomatic positive. Asymptomatic symptoms, I meant. Meaning you do not look or feel like you are positive, but obviously taking the test you come back positive. Asymptomatic. Which despite the cold part that I had, I did not feel god awful from the COVID part. Which, like I said in the previous part of the video, I was every other cold I've ever had in life, just about to be on my deathbed, get struck with COVID with a little amount of cold, and I'm more energetic and neutral than ever. The irony, and considering how much COVID had consumed, 5% of the planet, maybe 10% now at this rate. Move this one out of the way. We don't like negative things around here. But in this actual current case, we do like negative things around here. I did actually have to use a regular Q-tip because the Q-tips that usually come with these, there wasn't one. There was only the plastic slips that you can put the whole test inside of. These things, which are the actual testers, chemicals in it that enhance any traces of COVID or COVID's cousins. So this was the little tube thing that I had used. Only 8 minutes to go, but by now another line would have shown up if I was still, in a pickle, but I'm not. There is not, so I'm not. Oh, so good to drink tea all over again, that I make it the way I like. But I know it sounds so goddamn entitled and absorbed, self-absorbed. I'm absolutely so freaking grateful for all of my mum and sister's help. But just coming down to it, I really do have a very unique way of making my own food. There's other people, the way they've made their food. But nonetheless, also looking at the test again, and the world's faintest secondary line. But we're well beyond the 15 minutes of waiting, and it is not completely prominent in shading. It's so damn opaque. I think that's the word I'm looking for, opaque. Just barely there in view. But of course, top line, top line is negative. 2 lines positive, and a line all the way at the bottom is tested, the dud. Far more of a top prominent line and a barely there bottom line. Still technically considered the negative side of things, test-wise. So I'm negative, and that's a good thing. Positively negative. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you're just getting into your isolation, I wish you all the best. You will pull through this. If you're just coming out of it, welcome back to society on your part. Please get triple vaccinated. It will help to fight off the virus in twice as much time versus if you didn't have the vaccine. You don't want to get stuck with the virus versus the side effects of the vaccine. The vaccine is meant to be there not to make us immortal or to make us so that we never get COVID. I mean, clearly we still can get it. The vaccine is just meant to be a treatment, a long-term treatment, depending on how many times it is possible to get COVID, with any of COVID's cousins, so to speak. Please get vaccinated, and if you have any coldish related symptoms, get tested. And if you come back positive, or even just remotely positive, isolate yourself. I believe in America and UK, from what I gathered by other videos, 10 days of isolation, but here in Australia we have 7 days of isolation, which is, I can't help but think of the iconic 7 days ghostly speech from The Ring. And I'm gonna double check on my sister-in-law to see how she's going, because she had it worse than me, has it worse than me, plus with the additional cold in itself. Please get vaccinated. If you come back positive, please isolate and just still treat the pandemic like there is still a pandemic. Stay socially distanced to stop the spread so that we can rebuild the population, not have ourselves wiped out because of ignorance or arrogance. With that POV being said, and the PSA, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed and got anything informal and found anything informative, I meant to say. And I'll see you all for my future videos. Adios.